What you are about to see is a full guide on how I take my clients from 10K per month to 100K per month. And we're going to start here in step one on how to create a VSL. So you have a man here who converts cash collected 1x, but a man with a VSL converts 3x cash collected. And this specific section is going to be a full VSL guide, how I build a VSL to 3x plus my clients' conversions selling an online service. So what is a VSL? A VSL, or a video sales letter, is a persuasive video that sells your product or service by walking viewers through their pain, your solution, proof, and a clear call to action. So what does this mean for you? In short, a VSL is literally a video that sells. In my experience, a good VSL contains the following: a hook and callouts, a personal story appealing to pathos and building authority, introducing the problem, introducing your solution to the problem, showing proof your solution works, stating your offer, having a call to action. So what does a good VSL look like? Well, it looks something like this. Why is this good? It has a visual hook and there is no timeline. Do not do a regular timeline. Either use no timeline or use Vidlytics to make a timeline speed illusion, which brings us up here. How do we do a VSL? Step one, create the strategy and the messaging. Define your offer. What are you selling? What's the transformation your ICP will go through? Clarify your ICP. What problem are they desperate to solve? What have they tried before? What beliefs do they currently hold? Pick a compelling angle or big idea. Example, why most fitness plans fail for women over 40 and how to fix it in 90 days without starving. Outline your unique mechanism or methodology. What makes your approach different? Step two, write the VSL script. This is a full template I created for my client in their relationship niche. Feel free to use it as you see fit. His is going to be a little bit longer because he needs a deeper emotional buy-in, professional delivery, clear trust signals, and also time for the client to overcome skepticism. So his should be about 15 to 25 minutes. For you, it could be a little bit shorter, like 10 minutes. But generally, you're going to have the hook and call out, then your story and your vulnerability, things you've actually gone through, showcasing your authority in the space who talk about this, and also your credentials talking about this, the real problem, the solution to the problem, the proof that your solution actually works, and like success stories and everything, and then the offer and the invite, basically showcasing your offer, who you help, maybe including qualifications, invite to click or book a call below, and then also having that call to action. Which brings us back here for step three, recording the VSL. The objective is to record a clean, clear, and high status video that connects emotionally. Tips: use a script prompter app or bullet point outline. Record on a camera in a landscape with clean lighting and audio. Be natural. Don't overact. Be direct, calm, and confident. Add B-roll, clips of coaching, testimonials, etc. Keep it dynamic. Aim for 8 to 20 minutes, depending on the audience and the offer complexity. No less than 5 minutes and no more than 30 minutes. Which brings us here to step four, actually building the funnel. So we're going to start here, ad campaign 1 and ad campaign 2. For ad campaign we're going to test 2 ad sets, 1 static ad per ad set, and per ad we're going to have 3 headlines and 2 primary texts. For ad campaign 2, we're going to have an ad set with a video ad, and on this video ad we're going to have 3 headlines and 2 primary texts. Now for the ads, they could go directly to the opt-in page, and then from the opt-in page to triage call, and then eventually to the sales call, or you could skip the opt-in page and then go to the landing page. It's up to you. Now for content, you can do long form, or you should do long form. You should do X posts and also short form. Outreach, you should test volume-based, value-based, and also volume and value-based, like a happy medium mix. I did not include referrals because 99% of the time, referrals will go straight to booking a call, potentially after an introduction meeting with you. So for the opt-in page, we're going to have the callouts, an offer statement, the subheader, and then the opt-in form. And then for skipping the opt-in page or just going from the opt-in page to the landing page, we have the funnel. The landing page looks exactly like this, essentially. Just it's laid out like this. You're going to have the callouts, who you're speaking to, the offer statement, the subheader, and then the VSL itself with no timeline. For must-haves, you're going to have a partner or client portfolio, big name people that you've worked with. Flood the landing page with case studies and testimonials, as many as you have, high authority ones. Have an about section and a what you do section. Have 3+ call to actions. I would recommend probably about 6 call to actions throughout the entire funnel, or the landing page, sorry. But don't do less than 3. Frequently asked questions, I probably do the same thing. Probably like six to nine frequently asked questions. Don't do less than 3. Now, make sure you have persuasive copywriting on this landing page. People can tell by far super easily if it is AI copywriting, and they will be turned away so easily. So make sure you have professional and persuasive copywriting. And then some nice to haves, if you have the luxury of doing these things, having a feature slideshow. For example, one of my clients is featured in Fox and also in Men's Magazine. So I make sure to feature him there, have like a slideshow on his landing page. Also, you could address the market problem. You could share your story, and you should share your story, which basically positions you again as an authority. Have qualifications, who is or is not qualified to work with you. Have a guarantee, have pricing, and make sure the pricing is only on the funnel if it's low ticket or mid ticket. If you have a high ticket price point, which is what you probably have if you're watching this video, do not include the pricing in the landing page. Only include it at the end of the sales call if the lead totally understands the value of what you are giving to them. Once they do, then you can bring up the price. Now, include a work spotlight as well. For example, for me, I've built out some pretty crazy top tier funnels for some of the biggest creators in the online space. So I make sure to include those in my landing page to present myself from an authority standpoint. And if you have work that you've worked on as well, that is, that presents yourself as an authority, do the same thing. Now for Typeform, obviously the call to action is going to go to a Typeform, but usually Typeform goes to a separate window, But lately I've been testing, and Typeforms tend to convert best, and they actually get more submissions and qualified leads if they are actually embedded within a landing page itself. So don't lead them to a secondary page. If you can, embed that Typeform into the landing page itself. And then also, lastly, have a versus section, you versus the competitors, introduce an opposition, what makes you stand out versus the opposition, and why should the leads or the clients go with you over anybody else. Now, this brings us to the call booked page. After they booked a call, we're going to have the confirmation statement. You're going to have them basically watch the video below, which visits you again as an authority and pre-handles objections. You're going to confirm the calendar, or ask them, to confirm the calendar in the email inbox, and then have them go to next steps, and then any call to action if you ask of them, which takes us to the reminder sequence. We're going to have 2 different sequences, email and also text. For the email, we're going to have a call confirmation email, a 24-hour reminder email, 24 hours before the call, an 8-hour one, and also a 1-hour one. And for the text, we're going to have a call confirmation text, an introductory selfie video, a reminder video with pre-framing material, and also a text and call 1 hour before the call if they haven't. And then after this stuff, you take the sales call, you close the call, and then you send them the contract and they begin the onboarding call. Next, we're going to go over here to the model comparison. We're going to have 2 comparisons here. We're going to have the old model and also the new model. The old model is funnels. You get leads, and then those leads turn to high-ticket clients, and then those high-ticket clients turn into case studies. The new model is a flywheel model. You get a follower, then that follower turns into a lead. That lead turns into a customer. That customer turns into a high-ticket client, and then that high-ticket client again turns into a case study. Now, the old model, the lead takes big leaps to purchase. The personal brand is not prioritized. More money is spent in ad spend to target cold leads. The new model, the lead takes much smaller steps to gain trust. A personal brand and organic content is prioritized. Less ad spend to see the same or even better results. And ads target warmer prospects or people who are already familiar with you. Now, Iman Gadzhi has been talking about this flywheel system pretty recently, so it is the real deal. But I don't like either of these systems. I actually prefer something else. Both. That's the better way. You have both. You run leads and you run followers for the funnel and also the flywheel. For the leads, you run cold ads to the landing page, and for the follower, you run warm ads that target the ICP followers and give them urgency-driven low-ticket digital products. So for the lead, they get the high ticket. They turn into a high-ticket client, and then the high-ticket client turns into a case study. Again, for the follower turns into a lead. That lead buys something from you, being like, a digital product of some kind, and then upsell to the high-ticket offer. Once the follower turned lead, turned customer, trust you. So that is what happens here. And then again, turn them into a case study. Now you have all areas covered, which is why this new model, even newer in my opinion, because I created it, over this new model, the flywheel system, is even better because it takes all areas of lead leaks into account and corrects and covers all of them. It's like low, mid, and high ticket offers. All areas of the offer are covered for leads to pick which price point suits their situation, which brings us up here to the content ecosystem. The content ecosystem. Your content should be an ecosystem. All cracks in lead acquisition should be covered. All systems should be working together. Below is the content system that I like my clients to follow. And remember, give, don't sell. Give free value. Give in-depth problem-solving help. Sell on implementation, not on knowledge. Okay, for Instagram Reels, we're going to post 4 to 7 times per week. Follow this whole entire framework. Appeal to pathos. You have the hook, the problem introduction, the story. Include your story to position yourself as an authority again and promote your authenticity. Then from your story, you're going to have a solution you found via your story and steps to fix the problem. Then have a call to action. For example, it might be comment word for lead magnet, right? That comment call to action boosts engagement and gives free value, which you can use to gain trust so you can upsell using that flywheel system. I would use ManyChat to automate the lead magnet and collect emails to build an email list and give A, more free value, B, VIP access to private events, masterminds, or even trainings where you give more free value and upsell, or C, create a newsletter to sell a high ticket offer. Then you could also drive followers to ClickFunnels in your bio from any kind of content, and for the opt-in for free training to collect emails to build email list and give A, more free value, B, VIP access to private events, masterminds, trainings, where you get more free value and upsell, or again, write a newsletter or to sell to the high ticket offer. Then once the free training is completed and trust is built, then redirect to the VSL landing page for a high ticket offer. Once the call is booked for the high ticket offer, redirect to call booked page and use the same email and SMS sequence I used before in this system over here. Sorry, down here. Use that to follow up and ensure the lead shows up on call. Next, IG carousels. We're going to post these 1 to 2 times per week. Only post them if your audience is A, older, or B, female. For example, a trading offer, which is targeted at young entrepreneurial men, does not perform best using carousels. You're going to have about 4 things you need covered in Instagram carousels. You're going to have drive feedback via comments on last page of carousel, retain attention via storytelling, use a hypnotic audio to keep the audience hooked, and also promote shares by appealing heavily to a certain or a large demographic using relatability or a contrarian point of view, again, to promote shares. Next, we're going to have Instagram stories, and these are super important. We're going to post about 3 to 4 times or more per week. Have a story sequence sharing your personal story, have a story sequence sharing case studies, flood your entire Instagram and your entire everything with case studies. They're so important. They build social proof and they build yourself again as an authority figure. Have weekly or monthly recaps of income and client success to present yourself from an authority standpoint to your audience, and use authentic urgency to build a wait list of people by doing a 14-day launch sequence. And only do this if you have an established audience via Typeform to drive them to a Telegram to build up hype for the launch of an offer. You don't want to have any kind of link in your stories or honestly anywhere, including your YouTube as well. If you do have that, think about it like this, right? Meta wants you to stay on Meta's platforms. Instagram wants you to stay on Instagram. If you have links in your bio so much directing to a different website, or you have especially like links on your story, which is like actively, taking people off to go to a separate website, Instagram doesn't like that. They want you to stay on a platform. So don't include links in your stories, especially if you're new. If you have an established audience, you can 100% do that. But it's actually going to take away from building up your personal brand if you don't have an audience already and you put links in your story. So only do this if you have an established audience. Now for YouTube, we're going to post about 1 to 2 times per week or 4 to 8 times per month. Include a catchy, search optimized title and matching eye-grabbing hook thumbnail. Make sure the video exceeds 5 minutes, but not 30 ideally. And make sure you call to action to follow you on other social medias. Again, for YouTube, it's not as big of a deal as like say Instagram because they prioritize it more, but try not to include new links in the bio of your of your YouTube. Do it if you have an established audience, that's okay. But if you don't, try not to put links to other social media platforms or websites in the bio of your YouTube as well. Now for email. Email is extremely crucial. All other platforms like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, etc. are using rented land. Any of them could be banned at any time. For example, the TikTok banned pretty recently. So use an email campaign to retain the audience, sell them, build their trust, and ensure you always have some kind of platform with an audience. Which takes us to the last thing here. That is not correct. I apologize. A personal brand. A personal brand is one of the most crucial assets to possess in the online space. Every large creator has a personal brand, some way to recognize them by and stand out amongst the rest. For example, first one is Brez Scales. He sticks to a certain color palette, being red, black, and white. He speaks to young entrepreneurs wanting to make money using freelance brand scaling. He keeps ongoing jokes. For example, he had this guy come up to him saying, "Nice rental," because he has like a Lamborghini or something. And he uses that as an ongoing joke, and people recognize that and they keep joking about it, which boosts his engagement and boosts his followers. Same thing with another joke he uses, the owner of Fiji Water. I believe the owner of Fiji Water's last name is Brez's last name. So there's an ongoing joke that he is so rich because he owns Fiji Water. So he just keeps using that joke in his favor to give him more of a following and keep, I guess, his image out there even more. He wears consistent clothing, modern, expensive streetwear, and everything within his personal brand is consistent. And that consistency is something consistent you're going to see across every single thing for all, personal brand owners. They all have a very consistent personal brand, and they all consistently use it to their advantage. So for Brez, again, it's that red, black, and white kind of scheme. He has that Lamborghini. The guy said was rented, I think. And yeah, it's pretty consistent here. And he went from a large following, like 100,000 followers, like a couple months ago, to 584,000. So he's just absolutely blown up on social media using the power of a personal brand. Now, one of my clients as well, Marshall Cruz, also sticks to a certain color palette, black and red. He speaks to young men wanting to start a clothing brand, and he uses his clothing brand as a vessel to build authority and get sales. His brand tone is also consistent, being grunge. He wears consistent clothing, grunge, ripped and vintage streetwear, and then his voice is recognizable. In all his videos, he starts it off saying something very similar like, "Hey, it's Marsh," and he uses a very specific tone that makes you just know, even if you had your eyes closed, that it's Marshall Cruz. So for Marshall, he's also blown up on social media, not as much as Brez, but he has as well. Same kind of colors, black, red, and white. And then he has, if it's not showing down here because I screenshotted it, but his Instagram is like this whole grunge, 80s rock, gothic aesthetic. So that's what he uses to draw people in, and that is how he is recognized by. Now, lastly, Alex Hormozi, as third example, he has consistent style. Hair, beard, hat, branding, flannel, wife beater shorts. You know Alex Hormozi by recognizing those things. 2, he presents himself as the new Napoleon Hill, basically this generation's business guru. He has consistent brand colors being purple and yellow. He uses common keywords, i.e. volume for outreach. He says volume, volume, volume. Volume is freedom. And then lastly, 5, his brand is all about convenience, not luxury, which kind of ties back into that whole low-key, I don't give a shit, flannel, wife beater shorts, sandals kind of vibe. So he is very recognizable in that sense. Like, if you see this face, you know it anywhere, you know his voice, you know everything about him. It's very consistent across the board. If you want to stand out, create something unique or have something very unique about yourself and make that stand out to the audience that you are portraying yourself in front of, and keep using that to your advantage to stand out across every other single competitor, which is something that all of 3 of these guys, especially Brez and Alex Hormozi, have done very well. So make sure to create an outstanding personal brand and use it as an advantage for people to recognize you, trust you, resonate with you and your message, and create a cult following. And this is exactly how you're going to get from 10K per month and scale to 100K per month. Thank you so much for watching. I apologize for slurring all my words. I'm absolutely exhausted right now, but I had to get this video out there nonetheless. So thank you guys for sticking with me. I hope this was some value to you at least. If it was, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this, I promise I'll be a little bit more alive and awake next time. So again, thank you so much for your time. I hope this helped you, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.